Thanks for joining. This is Movado, and I'm here with another episode for Empyrion. Today, what I have here is an overview of the legacy ships, the CVs, the Infectors, the Decimator, the Devastator, and the Eradicator. Devastator and Eradicator are two new ships. The Decimator and Infector has been around for a while. Most people are probably familiar with it. The reason why I've, two of each is because I have the vanilla or basic Empyrion version, and then I have the reforged version right next to it, and we'll just kind of take a look at the ships and see what differences there are. Let's start with the Infectors. Okay, so the first thing with the Infectors on vanilla versus Empyrion, let's just go into the P menu. Oops. And it has 10 disruptor cannons. This one has 14 devices, but it has 4 shockwave emitters. Those are what give away the bubbles, the little bubbles, that EMP bubbles or whatever. So if you see these in Reforged and you see those glowing bubbles kind of around the ship, that's the shockwave emitter. So same amount of alien devices. On the thruster side, 6, 7, 17, 7, 4, 8. 6, 7, 17. So there's more thrust on the bottom, unless they were just downgraded, and there's just a bunch of small thrusters, maybe a couple slope mediums. Yeah, that's what was added. There were some small thrusters. Fuel tanks doesn't really matter. Generators 11. What's on this one? Generators 11. So probably no change there. RCS 3. RCS3. It looks like everything else is the same across the board. Just a few other thrusters. One other thing that is probably the difference, actually, nope, it does not have the special shield generator in it either. They both have the advanced shield generator. So looks like the main thing are the EMP bubbles. The strategy of this ship is the core is directly in the center of the ship. If you think of the center on the side, you can just go straight in through this block here, and you will see here's the core. This is the reforged Eden version. These are 2 shockwave emitters right here. Shockwave emitter, shockwave emitter. And same as if you go out the back side of this, just go all the way through, you are coming out right here. Dead center on the ship is where that is located. On the reforged version, the easiest way to target it is there's nothing in here. You can't target these shockwave emitters. Your turrets do not target them. At least they haven't from my experience, but there are generators. There's one right here. You know, and I'm in God mode, obviously. There's one right here in the corner. There's another one right here. And then I think, yeah, there's another one on this side and another one on this side. So kind of the way that what I would think about this is you almost want to be at an angle outside the ship, so that way you shoot through the generators. So think of it, I probably won't go directly on the back side. I would almost come on the side over here if you're in Reforged, and have once you take out the turrets on the outside, have your turrets target the generators, because it'll shoot through here, it'll aim for this one, that one, and then eventually it's going to start coming across, and it's going to want to hit the generators on this side, and in order to get there, it's going to have to go through the core. So that's kind of where I'd probably come at it from this angle back here and try to stay on this side as you approach it. For the vanilla version, though, here's where it's different. Actually, the difference, you know, on the turret side, there's 3 turrets down here, 1, 2, 3 on the reforged version. The vanilla version doesn't have those here. But part of the change is on the inside where the core is, which is right here. There's actually disruptor cannons directly on the core. So for the vanilla version, all you have to do is target turrets, only turrets, and you'll eventually end up shooting those. So a lot of times I would come at it, and I would, if you take down its shields, take out the turrets on one of these circles out here, come around the side, take out a couple more turrets over here, and then you could just sit directly behind it, and your ship's CV turrets will target the disruptor cannons that are directly on the core, which is right here. It takes a little bit to work through, but there's a lot of open space in here as well for your bullets, your rockets and plasma to pass through to get to the core. So that's how you take out the legacy infector. Vanilla directly from the behind, from reforged on the 45-degree angles. Onto the Decimator. Okay, so this is the vanilla version. It's got 28 disruptor cannons. The reforged has 31 listed, but there's 3 shockwave emitters. So it looks like the total amount of disruptor cannons appear to be the same. I don't think there's any other changes with turrets on them. I'm just kind of looking them over. Well, actually, it looks like the reforged version has an extra turret right here. Oh no, that's a shockwave emitter. Okay. That's one of the shockwave emitters. Alright, so turrets are the same spot. Shockwave emitters are again what give away the bubbles. Strategy to kill these is, I actually prefer to be directly in front of the CV, and I target the generators because the core is right here. So right below, basically right below that turret, which will be shooting at you, if you center right in here, this is where the core is. So the core is right here, and directly behind it back here is a generator. So if you stay in front of this ship, and maybe even down just a little bit, you'll blow a hole through the front of this ship, and in the process of your ship trying to target the generator back here, you'll blow out the core. Strategy for both of them would be the same. A lot of times if you get close enough and in front of the Decimator, you can actually get out of line of sight for a lot of the turrets, so play around with that, but looks like strategy on both of these would be the same. The one difference, I believe, is if we look at the equipment. Let's look at thrusters actually. 11, 10, 24, 10, 15, 10. 11, 10, 14, 10, 17, 10. So there's more down, and there's more back and down thrust. So there's probably a couple extra medium downs, and then again a bunch of smalls here. Well, that's the difference between these two. Let's see here. Is there a shield? Dreadnought shield POI, which is going to have 50,000 HP capacity. And then this one, advanced shield generator, which has 20,000. So that's an extra 30,000 shield. Recharge rate of 150 versus this has a recharge rate of 500, so charges up quick. Let's see here. Fuel tanks probably doesn't matter. Generators 17, generators 14, so there's 3 extra generators somewhere. It doesn't really matter too much. RCS 23, RCS 47. So quite a bit more RCS throughout this ship. That's the Decimator. The Devastator. New ships. So we'll just do a quick once over here. You've got a bunch of disruptor cannons on the top, a bunch of them back here on the tail, kind of circling all around the tail. Got some big glowies, a big drive thruster there right in the middle. Looks like some spawners. I don't know, maybe guys will jump off and ninja your ship. I'm not really sure. Looks like there's quite a bit. Is this a shockwave emitter? No. Oh, that's just combat steel. That's not even a thing. More disruptor cannons. More disruptor cannons. It looks like similar on the bottom. Okay, let's look at the differences, if there's any differences between vanilla and the reforged. Okay, this one had 32. This one has 34. The difference are the two shockwave emitters, so that seems to be the only difference there. 8, 27, 28, 6. 8, 27, 28, 6. So thrusters are the same. Advanced shield generator, this is going to have that dreadnought. The dreadnought shield, so that again has the 50,000. 20 generators. 20 generators, so that's all seems to be the same. 26 RCS, 26 RCS, so looks to be the only really difference is the extra shockwave emitters and the dreadnought shield. Alright, so this guy, with all those generators, 20, gonna be kind of hard to target generators. Warp drive's up here, so I mean, for weapons, the things you can target are warp drive, turrets, mounted weapons, thrusters, and generator. So for this ship, the core is directly in the middle of this ring. I think. I thought. There it is. Yep, here it is. Right here's the ring. Here it is. So I guess right underneath this ridge. There's really nothing around it. You got the generator, shield generator right here. And the core is kind of in the middle. But if I look around the edges, you got RCSs, but the one thing you do have is you have the drive thruster. That's one area, and if I look around, there's really nothing else near the core. Probably intentionally done that way to make it harder. And of course you've got all these ultra rare containers directly under the drive thruster, but it's got alien blocks under there, so if you're careful you should be able to do this. So I would recommend with this Eradicator, this is the Devastator, trying to get right behind it, right up in its back in here, target that drive thruster. You're going to take that out, and then you've just got a little bit to get to for here. That'll slow it down quite a bit. What else could you target after that? I guess if you continue to target thrusters. Let me think about that. So, if you continue to target thrusters, your next target is going to be probably these right here. Because I don't see anything else. Is this a thruster? That's a thruster there too. So, you could probably do that. You'll just have to try to angle your ship so if your CV starts shooting at the bottom thruster, you might want to just lift up a little bit so the line comes more through the middle. Because ultimately you just want to bust out and get this core, which shouldn't be hard. Once you get this, there's only a couple walls in here, and your explosion damage will take that out pretty quickly. It is all Xeno, which is fine. It's not hard to get through here with CV rockets and artillery and whatnot. So, okay, that's a Devastator. Looks like vanilla, reforged, super similar. Eradicator. This is the big one. Alright, let's take a look. 96 disruptor cannons. Let's look at the CPU. This has got 22.4 million CPU. Okay, 96 disruptor cannons. That's like 100 quantums. Let's see here. This one also has 96. Right, let me double check that. Did they just remove... Maybe they removed 2 disruptor cannons. Yep, that's what happens. So there's still 96 devices. Yeah, that's a shockwave emitter versus the vanilla has this disruptor cannon instead. So actually less turrets on the reforged version, but it has those shockwave emitters. Okay, thrusters 27, 28, 15, 28, 23, and I didn't remember the last number. 28, 23, and 13. That looks to be the same. Same amount of thrusters. Equipment, of course, dreadnought, shield generator. 33 total generators. 33 total generators. RCS 44. RCS 44. Sentry 12, which isn't super relevant. There are no sentries on the vanilla. Wait a minute, where are the sentries? I didn't notice that before. Legacy sentry, where is that? Is that inside the ship? Or sentinel? Oh. I didn't notice that. Ah. Okay. Alright, so there's a difference. You got 12 extra that are on these ridges that are not on this vanilla version. You can see them here. 2, 4, 6 on this side and 6 on the other side. So the CPU on this one is 22.4. What's the CPU on this one? 22.391. Interesting. Barely any difference. Okay. So that's the main difference there. Otherwise, devices, that's it. There's no other differences there. Now, these do have 2 of the quantum boxes. So if you kill one, there's 2 quantums. I don't exactly know where they are. We could find them really quick. So just know that. I think there's a ton of loot in these things. The problem is that here's the core, right? So I'm just going to go inside the core, and I'm going to go straight up so we can go out of here. And we can see that core is directly at the cone of that circle, right? There's nothing around it. There's nothing around here. You've got some RCS, can't target those. You've got some disruptor cannons, which you can target them. But that's going to be really difficult with all the other turrets around there, around the outside. And there's just nothing around this circle to target. The other problem with this ship is it's kind of in the middle. So, you know, it's just a little bit further from the back here. You'd blow that, you have to go with the shield generator. It's a decent amount of blocks to go through to try to get up to here. That's the hard thing. And then the question is, what do you target? I guess you could target this generator. Oh, there's the 2 quantum boxes. So, you know, maybe that's the strategy with this, is there's a generator right here. Where are the rest of the generators? Are they all at the front of the ship? Let me take a look. So we got thrusters here. Nope, there's a generator there. So you got probably 2 generators in the sides. Yep. Is there anything up here? There's another generator up here. How many generators are we going to find in these little things? There's more generators up here. So in order to target generators and even start hitting that one, that goes through all these blocks, which is right here. I don't know how many blocks that was. It was a lot. You're going to have to destroy quite a few generators in obscure spots. Up here, there's 2. You know, let's see, there's thrusters here. I mean, you can certainly do the little twirly, spinny thing around this ship, and probably avoid most of its shots, and just slowly pick off its turrets. But it's got 96 turrets. Like, that's just, it's a silly amount of ammo to dump into. Even if you get 2 quantums, it's a lot of ammo. I'm just trying to think of angles how you could get at this. Because, you know, the one thing that crosses the mind is, well, what if you come at it from the side and you try to take out the turrets over here so it targets the turrets directly on the other side? You'd have to kill all these turrets, though. All these. Because those would all, like, if you're coming at it from the side, those would all be considered closer than the turrets on the other side of the ship. Same as all the ones up here you'd have to destroy. Probably all the, I mean, you'd have to destroy almost all the turrets on it. And since they can run on as few generators, it doesn't matter. It, you know, targeting the generators just blows the whole ship up. So it's not like they would get to a point where they get overloaded. I mean, trying to see here, the drive, you've got how many? Yeah, 15 drive thrusters. I bet you there's a lot of them buried. I found a lot of buried thrusters in the legacy ships. Yeah, like these. I don't think these are visible. Yeah, those are hidden. Those are buried. Yeah, I mean, you know, unless there's something I'm missing, I just don't think this is the Eradicator. Yeah, I don't think the Eradicator's worth it. Like, you know, with it having, what is it, 22 million CPU. I'm not sure the strategy on killing this, other than like I said, you could totally spin around it and blow up all its turrets with dumping a lot of ammo at it. But at that point, you're better off targeting more infectors, or if you can find decimators, even this Devastator. You know, this one isn't too bad because if you come at it from the back, more than likely these turrets up here don't have line of sight because of those arms. Maybe they will through this little gap here. But you've got a few to destroy back here, and then you've got a pretty quick shot at getting through here into the core. Like, this one probably wouldn't be too bad. From the back again. You just want to come right in here. And probably the closer you can get in, the better. Decimators, Infectors, pretty easy. Alright, well those are the legacy CVs. What I can do really quick here is, as long as I'm out here talking legacy, I am going to spawn in some, hopefully do the legacy POIs. These space ones. Alright, let's take a look at the, so this is a base, this is the crash base. Let's spawn this one in. Yep, so this is the space station in the this is the space station in the Infested Stations. So this is a base. It's basically got an infector tied to the side of it. All the same weaponry. I guess it's got spawners all over the side of it. The base also has a disruptor cannon over here. You know, if you find this in outer space, take the shield down, destroy the turrets on one side, and then just use the, let's take a look what's in here. This one has a shockwave emitter, so target generators. Stay on a side right in here, target generators, and you'll blow a hole right through the middle. Targeting the generators all throughout the side here. You might also target, there might be some generators. Yeah, there is a generator over here, so you will eventually target that probably before you get to the core. So you might see your ships shooting back there before they fully go into the middle, but that's the easiest way to take it out. This base does have a quantum box in it, just like the regular Infector. So the quantum box, I'm just going to do this. See, it's trying to do this while in God mode, which is weird. The quantum box is right here, which I know that probably didn't make sense through this video, but if you need help finding it, where is it? That's directly on the top of it. The top in front, as it would be flying. So whenever you approach, so the quantum box is up in this corner in here somewhere. Might be back a little bit, but it's definitely up in this front section. So whenever you approach the infectors, I always try to stay, if you draw a line at the top of these circles, never want to be above that line. All your shots want to be below it and coming in. If you're coming from the side, you can be directly even with it. That's probably a good spot to be. But again, you never want to be too high and too low. It probably doesn't get you the right angles either. Okay, that's that station. Let's see, where was I? Over here. Let me spawn in the other infested station. This one does not have a quantum. This is one you typically see. Alright, so this is the one you typically see. The core is located down here somewhere. Where is it? Here it is. Okay, so I'm in the core. I come straight out. So you can see straight into this room. Right there. In this room, up a little bit, are a couple boxes, alien boxes, containers, which is right there. There's one on the opposite side. Those are so directly directly next to those generators. So just for point of reference, you want to be down here, not up here, because there's one loot box there. There's one loot box over here. So I'm just taking a peek really quick. Then you come up and you can see, I already saw those loot boxes there. You get into this big room. However you get up there, if it's through the elevator or through a hole in the wall. And you'll find 2 more loot boxes on this side. 2 more loot boxes on this side. And I believe that's it. But I'm going to God mode around and just double check to make sure I'm not missing something in this POI. Because oftentimes I think I am. But I think that's it. Yeah, and I started by that. Solar capacitors. So I think that's it here. That is this. Again, these are the infested stations you find in the space station sectors in Legacy territory. Now, matter converter. So I think this might not be. I'm going to spawn this one. It's probably not the reforged version, or maybe it is just the reforged version. No, I think this is the normal vanilla version. The reforged version is slightly different. The reforged version has a shield, and it does not have a quantum box. So in this version, the vanilla version, where is it? Right here. There is an alien ultra rare container and a quantum box right here. Now, if you take the quantum box, go straight out, I guess it's almost right in line with those, with the middle. Pretty much directly in the center. Okay. Either way, there's still an alien loot container right there, and if you blow this POI up, that loot will just be in a drop box. Then, if you come all the way up the top here, keep coming up. You got a loot container in this one. So it's basically the corners that don't have anything piped into it. There's 4 of them up here. And then all the way down at the bottom. So here's the original one we found. Here's the quantum box. And if we go all the way down to the bottom, it's the same thing. It's right here. There's your ultra rares. So lots of ultra rare That's a rare. That's a very rare. That's a rare. And this is an ultra rare. So good amount of rares in here. On the reforged version, again, just doesn't have the quantum box. All the other loot containers are there. Let's see what else. I think that might pretty much do it. The artifacts, I'm not sure what these are. I'm actually not familiar with these things. Gravitational instability. I think these are quantum relay. I think these are planetary bases. I don't know anything about them. I've never looked at them before. They look cool. Let's see where the core is. Core is right here. Which, sorry, I'm just looking around here to see what's around it. I wonder if that's a quantum box. No. I don't think loot ID is 76 for a quantum. No. And I can't imagine this thing would have 6 quantums in it. That would be ridiculous. I'd build a ship just to take this thing out. Okay, I don't know what that says. All right. Trying to see what else is in here. Yeah, so this is pretty cool looking POI. Let's check out this one, the quantum relay, a little bit smaller, probably similar. A lot less turrets. It's only got 4, and this one's got how many? 18. Yeah, there's no cargo boxes in it. Some alien containers in here, of course. The core is probably, I guess, in the middle somewhere, but let's find out. Where is the core on this thing? Just at the bottom. Oh, right next to the generators. I see. Oh, a little dynamite here. Alright. Oh, yeah, lots of dynamite. Big boom. Oh, yeah, that'd be fun. Alright, well, if you ever see a quantum relay, target generators. It does have a shield, though. Okay. Well, what was that? Oh my gosh, did it overload or something? Probably. Yeah. Oh, that's funny. How are the generators doing? I've never seen that happen before while I was in creative mode. Alright, well that's those are the POIs. Apparently that one overloads and explodes, which is funny. That is Legacy though. I think I covered them all. Crashed Infector is a planetary POI. I've heard that one's really tough. I've actually never done this one. But I guess I could take a look at it. Looks to be different. It's definitely different. Ooh. Yeah, this is different. Where is... Yeah, this is a ground POI. This isn't meant to be cored. I mean, I guess if you could dig a hole right there, you get it, but this is when you have to take the shields down, take out the turrets, and then approach it on foot. Oh, where's the front door? A welcoming mat. Die through this door. Where is that? Sure, it's really obvious somewhere. Let's just do this. Still don't see the entrance. Unless you need to blow a hole in it. Maybe that's the deal. You got to blow a hole in it with your ship. I mean, heck, if you're gonna take the shields out and take out the turrets, might as well make your own entrance. There you go. That's what it is. Make your own entrance. Okay. Well, you can see Helix. You'll see these on Planet often. I don't know if there's much of a difference other than what it said. Tier 1, Tier 2. Empowered. One alien device, 9th century. A few more. Yeah, just a few more turrets. And Tier 3. So they all look about the same. It's just with how many turrets it has. Yeah, this one has a lot more. 8 and 9, so they just have more turrets. Alright, well that's a look at Legacy. All the ships, all the POIs, some of the loot, some strategy talk. Alright, cool. Well, if you have any questions, feel free to let me know. Otherwise, thanks for joining me. This has been a summary of Legacy in Empyrion. Thank you.